Welcome back to our final segment of In the Spotlight podcast with Kathleen and Jeannie. And we've got just a smattering of things that we found interesting to discuss. The first being, of course, Democrat Senator Sheldon says his family's exclusive beach club has diversity in membership after being lambasted for being part of a beach club in Newport, Rhode Island that apparently it wasn't allowing minority folks to be there. I mean, this could not get funnier in some cases, or sad. I mean,
right. Well, okay. First of all, where are all the Democrats? If this was a Republican who belonged to a restrictive club like this, even if his wife did, where are they? I mean, you would have. So I guess when it's Democrats doing it, like specific cases of racism are okay, but systemic racism is the real problem, and so they can just ignore this.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because there was a different, issue with this that Business Insider just brought out that I was reading about. And he says, and they said that this week in the news outlet Go Local Providence sparked renewed question about White House's association with Bailey's Beach Club, in which the senator's wife has a large ownership stake. In 2017, Go Local reported that White House said he would leave the club while he was running for office in 2006. So he knew this was an issue in 2006. Right. It is 15 years later.
Transferred it to his wife.
So he reportedly transferred the stake to his wife. And then he had this interview and he says, I think the people who are running the place are still working on that, when he was asked about members of color being part of it. And I'm sorry it hasn't happened yet, only to reverse himself when he finds out that there is some diversity at the club. So he doesn't even know, but he knew that in his mind, he was part of a club that did not allow people of color.
So and he has been one of the biggest finger waggers on the BLM stuff and systemic racism, like lecturing people on it. Democrats have they are such
hypocrites.
Actually, hypocrites and elitists. Like it should come as no surprise to somebody that a Democrat would put status and power above equality. No surprise. Pritzker pulled the toilets out of his house to avoid paying property taxes on one of the most exclusive streets in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in all of Chicago. Sean Casten votes to raise your taxes while not paying taxes on his own luxury DC condo. Almost all of the Chicago Democrats in the state legislature send their children and their grandchildren to private schools, but won't vote for school choice policy that would let poor and minority students go to private schools or pick their schools.
Yes.
So not really having a surprise.
It's a twofold problem.
But I don't know how they get away with this stuff.
He's an elitist, and honestly, he's a racist too.
Yes,
let's just call it what he is. I mean, he's part of this club that he knew was a problem since 2006. He transfers ownership to his wife, like that's going to solve anything.
Like
Give me a break.
Pritzker blamed his wife.
Pritzker blamed his wife for doing it. In fact,
why are you also sexist? Why do you hate women?
I don't get it. I mean, but honestly, this is not unlike the Democrats' party's problem with West Virginia Senator Byrd, who was actually a founding member of a KKK organization in West Virginia, and then he went on to be reelected.
If there's systemic racism, it's probably you guys.
Right.
Look what you
These
do.
Guys are a problem. It's ridiculous. But I mean, if the Democrats give this guy a pass, and the media,
and they are,
they're getting him a pass already.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, but going further on, I mean, it couldn't be funnier. But I mean, our next story is kind of interesting. So you've got Bobby Rush essentially saying, "Wait, hey, let's name a portion of I-57 Expressway for Barack Obama because it's not currently named. We've got the Kennedy, right?
Yes.
We've got the Reagan. We've got the what's 290 called? I forgot. Eisenhower. We've got the Eisenhower. So now we need the Barack Obama Expressway and I-57. Now I find it immediately when I heard this, I'm like, well, maybe that's appropriate since it's also the expressway with a lot of drive-by shootings.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of alarming. It's not something that we should be excited about, but it's the truth. I mean,
so what else should we name? Like, Mike Madigan, we could name the Blackstone Hotel after him because that was where Lucky Luciano held the first crime convention. In the nation's first crime convention. That would be the Mike Madigan, hotel.
But this is actually it's almost pathetically Illinois. According to Chicago Tribune,
really.
Illinois State Police recorded 61 expressway shootings in Cook County this year. That compares to 52 for all of 2019, 43 in 2018, 51 in 2017, 54 in 2016. A year when gun violence in Chicago hit levels not seen since the 1990s.
Well,
more than half of the shootings were on the Dan Ryan Expressway and Interstate 57.
Of course.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Barack Obama. This is a lot of this is black on black crime, gang related crime.
Well, he did nothing as president
to
address the violence problem in Chicago. Nothing. And neither did Rahm Emanuel.
So maybe it's an appropriate dedication. Do you think?
Could name the Green Mill after Rahm Emanuel. It's where all the gangsters met.
Okay,
Funny.
Sounds good to me. Oh, my goodness. And then finally, we have something that I thought I caught my eye. I mean, I don't do a lot of sports stuff, but this one did caught my eye when I was reading the Wall Street Journal. And I just, the picture was alarming at first. You've got baseball. The title of the article in Wall Street Journal was "Baseball's Goofy New Job: Belt Inspector," and it has the Nationals pitcher Max Scherzer having his belt checked by an umpire. I mean, the guy's like physically touching his belt as he's standing on the mound, and he's looking up. He's like, like this look like, what the hell's going on? Well, come to find out,
I haven't been to a baseball game in a while.
It says in the article, Major League Baseball is on the prowl for hurlers applying foreign substances to the ball, and the resulting confrontations with umpires are starting to resemble irritated TSA screenings at the airport. I mean, that is exactly what this looks like. I'm like, what is going on?
So Sergio Romo.
Yeah, so then we found this other video of Sergio Romo, another pitcher. Literally, the opposing team's coach said, "I want him inspected." Yeah, not once, not twice, but the third time, and that's when Sergio says, "Fine, you want to inspect me?" He throws his cap down on the mound in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
he's like, then he takes his belt off, flings that off, and then he whips his trousers down.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, his jersey covered everything. And then he quickly, of course, pulls it up. And I mean,
they're trying to get fans back in seats. They got to do a few
antics. But I mean, I guess.
This is what you just did your reveille on this. That we take rules and fairness very seriously in professional sports. That's why people pay so much to gamble on them. That's why people love them so much. We don't have any of those rules in politics, as illustrated by Sheldon Whitehouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, there you go. That closes out our segment.
Thanks for listening today, and we want to send a special thank you to AM560 and Salem Media, who has listed our podcast on their featured podcast on their website, so you can find us there. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Libsyn. And we are on, of course, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble.
So hit like and subscribe and share our content, because every time you share this, you spread the message of liberty and freedom to all of Illinois. Thank you for joining us for In the Spotlight podcast.